Indeed, what a great question from Alex there. I think this is a very difficult one to predict, James. Where do you stand? Where are you at?
I don't know. I'll tell you after 10 rounds. How about that?
After 10 rounds?
Yeah.
10 rounds?
You do it at ECS, basically.
That's a fair point.
It's very true.
That's a fair point. We're not known for our predictions, but that's okay because the action is soon to begin. Ence and Astralis kicking things off here on Dust 2. And Astralis, they are historically an incredible Dust 2 team, so it's always very enjoyable to watch how they play this one out. But then starting off on the T side, that's what we like to see. A great team for the T-sided movement. Great coordination, great chemistry, great preparedness. But can they take over Catwalk? Because that's where they're looking to go next. 2 players to face here for Astralis towards that mid position. And we'll have Sergey trying to lead the contact there out of the double doors, keeping those Astralis players honest as they poke and prod. But it is that A bomb site that will be under their attack now here from the short position.
Trying to keep them entertained as the main bulk of the players move towards that A bomb site. Device shooting really fast, can't quite get the kill, eventually does on Aerial at the very least. Glaive, can he find some more? Alexi B still in the red. Bomb not getting planted just yet. Lovely one tap onto Alu. And again, it's still low health players, which makes things even worse, but it's all about the headshots in a pistol round. Sergey 1 versus 2, knows where the players are now. He's got a 1 versus 1 with Zifex. He's not shy. Match is coming in for support, trying to avoid getting headshots. Sergey moving towards that Gandalf position. Time to reload. The CTs close the distance, but that is to Sergey's advantage as well with the distance of the Glock. There's a big, oh, that's huge from Sergey. Takes out Magisk with the headshot, finishes off Zifex. An unlikely round towards the end there for Ence, but they do take the pistol round.
Yeah, that went from horrendous, looking hopeless, and he's won the round. just like that. Great stuff from Sergey indeed. I think 7 as well. It's a quick flurry of Glock bullets there to do the damage. You can never predict a pistol round until, well, you just can't predict it. Now, spamming long range with Galil, that is definitely quite optimistic. I'll see the Xbox smoke going out there as well. Does aid in catwalk control, blocks the CT's vision from the middle areas to that catwalk spot, and you can see Devices taking a look, taking a goosey gander towards top middle, seeing if he can spot anybody here. He's definitely expecting, he's trying to use this Xbox smoke against the T's, but it will actually dissipate now, so he's a bit exposed, looking for the heads, and there's a quick jump from Aerial, but it looks as though Device will whiff that shot. That could have been a kill. That would have been very impactful. Get the flashback over to take it middle, and Aerial, there we go, with the Galil able to finish things off. Astralis down a man, but still lots of firepower for them.
Magisk holding on to long for the time being. Starting to wonder about those long doors, it seems, from the radar, but not quite pursuing just yet. 2 scouts for Astralis, 2 pistols. There's plenty of smokes, flashes, and molotovs for Ence at this point. 45 seconds and the execute begins. They've got such overwhelming numbers coming from this short position. So far, so good with the flashbangs, but there are 2 players to deal with. Device will take out Alexi B. And with 34 seconds, we've got problems. Dupree coming in with a deagle shot. Device has done big damage as well. Zifex trying to finish it off, but he won't be able to do so. They can go for the bad plant. Oh, the bomb's down almost towards CT spawn. They're wasting so much time focusing on that bomb. There's plays towards short, plays towards long, 17 seconds. You can't deal with both of them. Dupree can wait until he has to go back to the site, then peek. It's a guaranteed double peek, but he goes for the cheeky one. Magisk goes deep, and Astralis win the second round. Very surprising situation. Not a good start for Ence. I fancy Astralis, Dan. That's how I feel about this one.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot, how the meta has shifted with Dust 2 on the CT side, with the new economy especially as well. You go for that force buy, get the scouts out. Even though Astralis gave up the first kill due to some good flash work around the double doors from Ence, still they make it impossible for Ence. That is incredible. Perhaps a sign of things to come. Time will tell as the pistols now come out for Ence, as they force buy back to see if they can somehow find a way to break Astralis straight away, but they're going to line up for Magisk, and he's going to have all of them. And yeah, well, that's that's not a good look, is it? Aerial lining up for Magisk. I feel like I've seen that so many times on the B-bomb side, James. He just knocks them all down like he's bowling. Absolutely.
I think Dust 2 is a map which causes a lot of variance for a lot of different teams, but doesn't always seem to be the case for Astralis. So far, so good. After the second round, of course. And it gets better for them as they put Ence in the $2,000 mark. So this should be gratis for Astralis, this third round for them. Fourth round of the game so far. Zipex looking to make some money with a UMP. Again, a stronghold of long, but a bad grenade from Astralis. They won't be punished for it. No one's charging through. Ence move towards top mid. They have a flashbang, and that's it. 1 flashbang and 5 Glocks. So this is a pretty ropey round for Ence. If they could use the numbers game to try and get towards short and plant the bomb, that would be fantastic. But it won't happen. They won't get anywhere close to it. 3-1 Astralis.
I like how, we saw Badgers just taking 4 easy kills down a single choke point on B, and then now we just saw the same with Device on the Org on A. So, right. At least it's they're quick rounds, I suppose. There is that. Quick and painless. Well, probably not painless, but quick at least. So that's something. But here we go. 5 AKs brought to bear for Ence, and a cat boost coming in straight away. Astralis looking for an aggressive timing on Catwalk here, with 2 players going deep straight away. Device, what's he going to find here? With Zipex for support. Nice shot there from Device. I don't think they expected Ence to be up there so quick. I think they wanted to peer down into lower dark to capitalize against the default, but look how quick Ence is moving here. Device repositioning. Doesn't find it through the smoke, though, as Ence have a chance to take this B bomb site.
Zipex taken out. Now, Device could hop on those boxes to look towards the door at the very least. Unless there was a second smoke high. Okay, there he is. Exactly the point. And Magis can focus on the window for the most part. Got to be aware of the tunnel as well, but there is no flank. But the threat of one will be enough to allow Ence to take the site and plant the bomb default. An AWP and an AK-47 for the retake unless Device swaps out. Looking for a flank at the moment, and Sergey is there. But Device is crossing late as a second player. The crouch peek with the AWP straight in the face for Sergey. X7 doesn't last much longer either, and that will be a 4th round for Astralis. Astralis and retakes on the B bomb site, they are nasty.
I have to say, big praise for Ence to just keep to speed things up. They lose a man on Catwalk, they immediately respond. Drop everyone from Cat down into middle straight away before Astralis can really react. They catch Device as he's repositioning, and he's locked behind smoke, can't really do anything, and Ence gain position despite losing a player. That was a great adjustment, and it's pretty remarkable that, as you say, Astralis still are able to take that B retake, make it look so easy. But as you say, again, they are notorious for it, and now back on the pistols. Ence once again looking to see what value they can find. But this is going to be difficult. Dupree's pulled out the AWP as well. And it will be Catwalk to A for Ence. And this is a very common way to play around with pistols. And I think that Astralis expect it. Ence better have some flashes for Device, otherwise he's going to eat them up.
Nice for Glaive to jump past the long door position. If he just walk peeked or just looked into the angle, almost definitely eating a deagle shot to the jaw, to the face, in the teeth. Ence well equipped, for all things considered, for an execute towards the A-bomb site. Device looking away from a flashbang, avoids the first one. We've got players on the low ground. Zipex doing his best to spray. We've got 2-man support now. Tag, but no frag. Glaive will clean up, however. But that smoke on the side will certainly be helpful. Alexi up close with the CZ-75, maybe wanting to go for the gun, but Device says no. He holds on to the long position for the retake. The bomb's been planted, but surely there can't be much more for Ence. We've got a 3-man retake from CT Spawn. The high ground could be to the advantage of Ence. Not that they realize it right now. Starting to sweep in. We've got the... Oh, that was a chance for Sergey. That was a big chance, but he's got another one taking out Dupree. This is awkward for Astralis. They need high ground. They don't have it. Device moving in now, and it's Alu 1 versus 2 with the deagle. Great damage done for Ence. They get 3 kills and a bomb plant. That will be promising for the rounds to come.
Yeah, that is great work, and it's a testament as to the damage you can do, as you say, when you are able to hold on to that elevation on the bomb site. The short take when you're on pistols is one of the easiest ways to kind of guarantee a bomb plant, which they do, but you don't often expect to get a lot of kills out of it as well. So it's going to be a motivating factor for Ence. It'll help them to feel good as things move forwards. The AWP pivot, this is a pivotal moment, I think. It's going to be held on to by Alu now. So let's see what he can get with it. This is such a sniper's map, but Are they going to go for a fast B play? This is a lot of pressure, a lot of players in the upper dark here very quickly. Perhaps they'll look to Alu to try to get a pick here with the AWP. And they can follow him in if he's able to find that with the bomb. Maybe they expect aggression from Astralis and they want to punish it early. It's another potential here. The lurk smoke goes out of the tunnels. No real response from Astralis just yet.
3 snipers on road. Got a boost over the smoke. Dupree sees the lurk smoke, changes the angle. May be aware that he would be vulnerable based on where he was. It was a 3-man boost, actually.
Wow, this
Ali
is cool.
trying to slide into the DMs, but doesn't seem like he can find the right angle, having to reposition. But this is wasting a lot of time, and they're going to give it up as the smoke has dissipated. 50 seconds remain. 4 players in B tunnel for Ence, and they will pop out another lurk smoke. Will they go for the boost again? I don't think so, as there aren't 3 players in that position anymore. Ali moving over to his left.
Astralis are ready for a B split. They have Zipex and CT spawn and 2 on the B bomb side. That is prime B split defense territory, and here it comes.
Dupree in construction. That's a very tight angle, but he delivers with confidence. Zipex now popping through the smoke. He sees this slight gap while the Molotov is down. Some pre-fire, not quite hitting the mark. How is he still alive? It's a 5 versus 3. Make it 2, make it 1. Clutch Minister keeping the CT spawn area clean. Rest of the Astralis cleaning up elsewhere. I don't think they lost anybody in that round. Very happy, satisfied with that. Just another day in the office for Astralis so far. 6-1, they are on fire.
Yeah, and you can see how awkward that was, that round. Ence in a position where they didn't really get all that much information around the map. They were kind of planning around that AWP pick towards B, which again, that boost failed. As you said, like wasted a bunch of time. Very awkward round, but making things simple here, going for a slightly delayed long take, which will be deterred for the moment by, well, for many more moments now that the smoke's gone down. And we have a very forward position from Glaive, sitting straight in front of that smoke with the Orc, and he's going to block them as they come through. Oh my! He still takes one straight to the face, but Device is rearing his head now to keep things honest on the long, and he's going to see that this is completely clear, and there's no way through the long position.
How often does that happen? Standing in front of the smoke like that's normally to your advantage. Maybe reading that he would be alone in the pit. Either way, they get a frag, but not quite control of long. Maybe they assume they do, but Zipex is in position there. And that leaves Device alone around that car position towards the A side. Oh, that timing is absolutely brutal. That's a chance that Ence need to try and do something in this round. They can go for the short plant, retain control, as you can see Alu doing. There's a short plant, and here comes a short attempt from Magis. Oh, that is, what a correction from him. That's absolutely disgusting. Now they've got a short and a long position. That smoke may delay them somewhat, or maybe it won't. Magis continuing to cause problems, takes out Aerial. And now Alexi's on the site alone suddenly in a 1 versus 3. No kills post-plant for Ence. They got brutalized by Astralis.
And it's insane to imagine the way that they got into the bomb site. The fact that it's the very moment Device pulls out a flashbang and repositions, that's when they decide to just go in dry. Most of the time, Device is holding that angle, gets at least guaranteed a kill, most probably. So, yeah, very strange turn of events towards the end of that round. Ence are going to feel pretty bad about that one. They're going to know how fortunate they got with the kill onto Device, but the reality is that they are 1 for 7 and still looking for a consistent way to open up these rounds against the likes of Astralis.
Alu is 1 and 8. Alexi is also 1 and 8. Ence not really able to climb through these small windows of opportunity that you might find against Astralis so far on Dust 2. 4 defuse kits on the 5 Astralis players, just Device without. Comfortable with the AWP. Retakes have almost been a formality in the 8 rounds we've seen so far here on Dust 2. Dupree looking for info. He hears a Soundkeeper player dropping, and he'll have to drop back to the B bomb site just in case of a burst. Those are the flashbangs as well, which may suggest that there is a T lurking through those double doors, but looks like Ence wants Astralis to worry about mid, maybe to gravitate towards CT spawn while they focus on A.
Astralis have as good of a setup on A as you can hope to have, except maybe it's nice to have someone tucked behind the graffiti as well. But they'll actually see Xyp9x going a bit deeper than that, and he's going to spot three players dropping down to attack Device. Xyp9x, can he lighten the load? He tries to do so. Device does survive. They hold on to long Astralis, which is pivotal, considering the fact that they have lost the bomb site now. Glaive will get taken down through the smoke, as Device operates now from the pit position with the AWP. So the bomb's going to go down in this 3 versus 3. Still looking like this is anyone's, as Device looks towards the site. He's got a lot of nades here. Just will creep forwards. Up the slope he goes, slow and steady, but very methodical, pays off, but it's up to Device in the 1 versus 2 now.
Lining up for a double peek. I remember a triple peek from Vox many years ago in this position, but Sergey will be enough even with the smoke up, and that will be another round for Ence, a much needed round. I've noticed that repeatedly Ence have been trying to pull CT players of Astralis into that mid position for when they go to A. They're trying to weaken the hold of the A bomber site, but Astralis haven't really been buying those fakes from them in as far as the CT spawn area and B are concerned. As you mentioned, they had a really solid setup, as good as you would want on the A bomb site. On this occasion, it wasn't enough for Astralis, but Ence need to continue that success. They need to string rounds together. They've only got 2 so far. You can see Device creeping around the smoke. Ali will trade for his teammate. Some HEs towards the short position. Those have been very common as well, and they're doing big damage this time. X7 taken out by Glaive, always responsible for long, but there's another player in that long position.
Yeah, not really good positioning coming in from the CTs here. Stuck down in the CT spawn area. And it's very difficult to make that work. Good shot from Alu. Will make things even worse here for Astralis, and their money is certainly not looking that good at this point, so they will decide to go for the save. And you can see that Ence are finding a lot of success and consistency now, going for these A splits. And that is much welcomed, because after that string of dominant performances from Astralis, Ence have finally cracked it, or one would imagine, because Astralis now are going to start to feel that, okay, Ence, we're seeing a pattern here. They're really going for these A splits. They're not really threatening, those B plays. And then the question of mind games comes in. Is that when they're going to throw B play at us? Or are they just going to keep doing what works? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the question.
Long spray, very, very nice. Look at that burst from Glaive. That's nasty stuff. We've seen some nice bursts from Cajun B as well, old comrades. Countrymen. 7-3 for Ence. 2 AWPs saved is always going to be dangerous for any team. Astralis will buy around those, still with some money in the bag. There is a tag through the doors by Alu onto Dupree. You'll have to accept that, nothing to do. Xyp9x taken down early. I don't think we've seen many rounds where it's been an early 5 versus 4 for Ence, but here they have one. Now, can they convert?
So taking over Catwalk, and Device is on the shoot and drop spot on the corner there, and he will equalize. However, again, Ence, they've been hitting this A bomb site repeatedly, and at this point, because the rotation for the A and B players of Astralis is so far to help one another, it doesn't really matter where Ence go. As long as they do it with good coordination and utility usage and have good pacing behind the attack, it doesn't matter which bomb site they pick. And it looks like they are choosing to go towards A. And it looks like they're choosing to go towards long, which actually makes a lot of sense because they can shut down Device better if they're able to just get through these doors. This is the big problem. Can they get an easy entrance? They can. So now Glaive has to get a multi-kill to really make this one work and keep the pressure off Device, smoking himself off. Now there's problems here for Ence.
He needs that flashbang from Device. Glaive. There's smoke in the pit as well, but he will be taken care of. Device holding onto the flashbang, using the smoke instead. This time it doesn't work out. That smoke will create space. It does allow him to back off somewhat, although that could still be dangerous. Hiding in the smoke for now. X7 with a pre-fire. A lot of directional sound cues for Device, but he hears him running away from long. That's information for his teammates, and he will see where's everyone gone. X7 in some kind of bait position, though, behind the blue position. Device has given no sound cues away. Makes no assumptions. Sees no one's in the pit. Not fast enough this time. A successful bait, but it is the CTs who will win the round by timeouts.
Ooh, they can't replenish the AWP that was lost there as well. Perhaps this could be a time to switch things up now that Astralis no longer have a double AWP setup.
Okay, so the bomb was in spawn, so they backed off, not feeling like they had the time to achieve their goals, and maybe that gives the advantage back to Astralis. On the brink of breaking their money, still Glaive and Device have got $0 in the bank. Maybe there's still a chance for Ence to still have a good buy for the most part. Alexi B down to the Galil, but we've seen some successful sprays so far. Device with a strafe before he places his shot. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have got a kill there. There'll be a boost. Those of you at home, you've got to jump on the side. Otherwise, you'll be too low to jump on your teammate. Device so good from this position. This time he doesn't jump down. Support HE from his teammate, and they control that short position. Zipek's getting aggressive, changing the pace, but he won't work out for him. We've got trades continuing. That's a big headshot from the car position. And this could be a huge round for Ence. They could still end with 7 rounds in this half. Only 3 for now. But I don't think Astralis will have much money if dupreeh can't clutch this.
dupreeh is in actually a very ideal position. If he was, short or CT, it's quite difficult to close the distance. But not only is his position closer to the bomb site than short, he's also in, I think, what would be a fairly unexpected spot. We'll have to see if Ence have any sort of sense to check for this. And they are taking their time at the moment to see if dupreeh is lurking around somewhere. And they can maybe catch him out of position. dupreeh decides to go out. Did he make a step there? I'm not sure. I don't think he did. He's going to catch Aerial straight away. So there it is. He's on the bomb side. He's got a smoke to go for pressure. That's going to force the T's to come close to him because there's so much threat that he can just move his way onto this. Goes for the flash. Is he going to stick it? He doesn't have a kit. If he had a kit, he might go for the stick, but there is the pressure from the catwalk position, and the smoke doesn't cover him enough. And now dupreeh has real decisions to make. Damage might be the best thing that he can accomplish here. The spray works onto Alu. If he could just get the next frag, but no, Sergey will not show himself. He knows how to play this spot. At least the AWP will be picked up and saved. So dupreeh, he did as much as he possibly could from this position, and he will escape. And as you say, James, it will be the 4th round for Ence, and they've consistently opened the rounds with kills now. They take long away, they get a frag. They've been opening things up with advantage early on in these rounds.
Now we've got the hero AWP situation, I'm expecting. I think it's too much to ask to aim to try and save this straight away. They're going to force around it. dupreeh picks up the AUG. He had about 4650 to start off with, so they'll force around the AWP. It will be given to the man with the plan who can, Device. Now, in a similar situation when we had a hero rifle on a previous Dust 2, we saw a stack by the middle doors to look towards the short position. But here we will see something different. A flash through middle doors, and Zipex can back off thanks to the smoke grenade. Relative safety. But the key thing for Astralis is they need a can opener. They've got Device and dupreeh with the main weapons. They need to do something. Now, they'll know their opponent will expect aggression. So it's really tricky. You can't just go super aggressive and just expect to have success, because Ence will be visualizing some kind of cheekiness and a peek. You can see in that short position, you have 2 Astralis players lining up. So if there's a wide swing, Glaive is very likely to get a kill with that CZ, because they're going to focus on Device. Oh, he peeks instead and just eats bullets. But Device is still alive, most importantly for Astralis. Now, Ence, they've taken the short position. They don't have anybody in long. So what do they do from here? They know where the AWP was. Do they read a rotation? If it was going towards speed, they'd probably hear it. So this may spur them on. They've got a smoke. They could put it down for the mid to B split. Going for the raw peaks, and dupreeh's in the window with the AUG, and it's Zipex's turn with the CZ. Up close, doing some damage, but no frags.
Yeah, looking rather bleak now for Astralis. It's going to need something very fortunate indeed. dupreeh only gets 1 though, and now Device is stuck behind smoke with the AWP. So effectively isolated, and that'll be the round for Ence. Looked a little bit scary for a moment. They got slowed down towards the catwalk position. Oh, Device. Here's the running there, and he's able to stop just in time. Quick shot for him, and now he is going to make the pit his home. And I would doubt that Ence are going to be all that interested in trying to chase him down at this point. So he is safe. So they have that AWP at the very least.
It's good decision making from Ence. Once they found the information of where the AWP was. Again, Device can't really rotate towards B without giving them the audio cue there. So it's like the AWP is on A. So worst case scenario is on A. Let's go towards B. Pretty simple stuff. And they made it happen. 2 players survived, but it's all about winning the rounds. And there is the 5th round on the board for them. But that AWP is still alive. They did go for the force buy in that round, Astralis. So now we may see more of a hero play with this AWP in the second last round of the first half.
I've been enjoying Ence and how they play around the A-bomb side. Obviously, that's where they found all their success. You know, they take the long position, they read the rotations of the CTs, and they position accordingly. Like, for example, if they understand that Device rotates the catwalk, they immediately press the gas and speed up the push towards A-long to pincer him more quickly, so they can stay ahead of the moves of the CTs. But Device is the only guy here that can really offer up anything. Everyone else on USPs whilst he's on the big green gun. And we'll have a long take again. And as Glaive down, spotted and fragged. And they're one step closer to a bomb plant.
Device holding the short position as per usual. May not be dropping off if he is engaged, but that's not happening at the moment. Ence just holding. No grenades. Oh, there is, sorry. Dupree is holding a flashbang. X7 trying to bait the shot. He does eventually. There is the flash, and here comes the explosion. Zipex will get a kill. Now, Dupree will get taken out on the ramp. And at this point, it's about saving for Device. He's got the low ground, which is not what you want. Elevation always preferred. So it is a save situation again. Now, will the hunt continue as it did before? 4 players alive for now for Ence. I'm sure they would love to take that AWP away. But they're not prodding too far just yet. Their own economy may be a little brittle. But the score looks pretty damn close as we approach the last round of the first half. Nice comeback from Ence. Again, when Astralis win rounds on Dust 2, it tends to be in devastating fashion, quite commonly. So it almost looks like a wipeout, but that is certainly not the case here.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool to see Ence at work in identifying how they can get the initial advantage and take the initiative in a way which really begins to serve a situation that can help them force a rotation or something like that they can then punish for the CTs. That's what it's all about, especially on maps like Dust 2. You know, if you take map control, you know, you can push and pull the CTs around, and then there's going to be a weakness somewhere. And if you set yourselves up in advance to understand where the weakness will be ahead of time, and you can then exploit that weakness. And another thing as well is that we've even just had some brazen, bold picks coming in from the likes of Ence as well, where Ali gets a pick with the AWP, or we're seeing, I think, X7 like towards the long, just has a good timing, just gets a spray and catches Zipex one time or Glaive another time. Long seems to be quite difficult. And Astralis, you don't want to overreact. You know, you don't want to just overreact when a team is working something out and say, okay, we're going to put 4 players towards A at the beginning of the round now. That's not, that could be exploited by Ence as well. So Astralis trying to do what they can with their default setups.
Oh, we've got the spam. But the inboxes will not be filled. No tags whatsoever through those doors. And it'll continue with 1 AWP. They had 2 plus the auto sniper. Oh, there's another AWP picks up again. Auto sniper really is use that T-spawn, or it's a rage hack special. Pretty much the only times you see it. Minute 20 on the clock, and I'm sure X7 will at some point switch out for the AK. There it is, back to the AK once again. Just opportunist, looking for something. We have a different setup from Astralis towards long. Glaive was playing the blue position. He's been in a few different places. Very important on the CT side, you don't play the same position every round. You've got to keep your opponent surprised, otherwise you will get pre-fired and eaten alive by the AK-47. Hiding behind the post, but Sergey's there to trade. Device starting to creep now, but there are 2 players there. He's got to land before the flashbang goes off. Trying to reposition, can't do it though. Alexi takes him out, but Zipex is here. Some pre-fire, but he gets shot in the back. The A site has been compromised by Ence.
Here comes Dupree though, and that's X7 down. A 2 versus 2 on hand as Alexi finally gets the bomb planted, and Looks like Ali will retreat down towards long with the AWP as Dupree begins to creep towards the crossover. And now he's the sole man here for Astralis. He tries to get some info, but he's been spotted now. He has to go, and Ali's going to take him down. That was a phenomenal half from Ence. I really am very impressed. Not only did they find a consistent approach, James, we get to see what really makes them strong. As as you say, this pincer movement there that just, they caught the long players in the middle. They got catwalk control. They've got such a good pacing to both attacks.
I like the style of Ence. They seem to give a lot of teams problems. And I think they match up well against Astralis in terms of style. So we have a competitive score at halftime, which cannot always be said versus Astralis on Dust 2. So definitely wide open now. And Ence can be full of surprises again. They've shown themselves in the other matches in this tournament so far to be very, very drilled. So that may play a part in the second half to come. I certainly hope it does. 8 rounds for Astralis. Often a masterclass in retakes on Dust 2, but they were broken by the likes of Ence. And again, it was so hard just to get that pistol round for Ence, but how long did it last them? Not very long. Astralis winning a force buy in the second round, and then I think it went from 0-1 to 6-1, if I'm not mistaken. So very solid start for Astralis, all things considered. Does put all the bonuses in the bin to reset in the second round as well, so can often be a plus. So it's 5-1 to 6-1. So very strong start for Astralis, but what will the second half be like?
Yeah, I think again, it's one of the strengths of Ence for me is definitely their T sides, their movement, their trading, their spacing is really strong. But on the CT side, those elements are not as in focus for your success. And Dust 2 can be quite difficult and awkward to defend, and Astralis are so balanced, the strength that they have on the CT and the T side of pretty much every map that they play. That's what's in question here. Ence, can they have a repeat performance but on a very different playstyle of that CT side? You can't get really so aggressive. On the CT side, we saw that Astralis, they were playing 2-3 pretty much the entire game, as you pretty much have to on Dust 2.
They did try to adapt, though, Astralis. When Ence started stringing rounds together, they tried to adapt, and they had Zipex making some aggressive plays, which didn't quite work out. From 7-1 to 8-7. That's a really strong comeback from Ence in that half, and we are not far away from the second half. Just 20 seconds away now. Don't forget, it's Dan's birthday today, so send him some tweets. Send him some selfies. Send him pictures of how you are watching Blast at home. Send him your setups, your PCs, your iPads, your televisions.
Send me everything.
Send them all the things. Send him pictures of your cutlery in your kitchen. 18 kills for Device. He did have a good performance in that first half, but only 8 rounds. And I think it isn't only when you are Astralis on Dust 2. Plenty of opportunity for Ence. They won the first pistol. Can they win the second?
Lots of utility on, or in the hands of Astralis. 3 smokes, a couple flashbangs, a molly. It's going to be really interesting to see how those will be used. And a couple P250s as well. So I like this a lot from Astralis. I'm so curious to see how this plays out. We can see the classic from Ence again. No kit. LXCB gets a CZ in the smoke. They do this every time. See how this one goes. We've got the long take coming in, but the mid rush. I love it. Big fan of this. Oh, there you go. There's the bomb. That's going to slow things down for Astralis. They have to respond. They have to go back out the double doors. They've got to get the bomb. This is disastrous for Astralis.
It's almost like the CTs are pushing along now. They've changed. There's a role reversal. They've changed sides again. Device 1 versus 4 with a P250 in maybe the tightest choke point in the entire map. Long doors. Look at the setup on the radar. They've got essentially a triple peak. It's a quadruple peak now. I'd love to get a camera on that. Quadruple peak in T-spawn from the CTs. Absolute madness. Okay, it's a triple peak with Sergey there. Worst case scenario. You can have a look at top mid as well. That is beautiful. Look at them. Look at them. Standing on each other's heads. Standing on the shoulders of giants. The team from Winland. I first heard Winland in Azerbaijan at an IESF tournament many moons ago.
Well, it's been a long rotation, but Device has finally arrived at top mid. There is no way he gets 4 kills here. There's just no way, surely. No Kevlar. It's going to be perfect. P250 at least, but he will be shut down. And oh my god, I've been completely denied James. I was so excited to see what Astralis had in mind with all the utility, but the bomb, the fact that it was, I mean, they could have cut their losses. If the bomb was on anybody else except the last guy, they would have been fine.
That is just the worst, isn't it?
Because then what they could have done, James, is they could have dropped the smoke on the long doors and then positioned one player outside of it and then just taken the A-bomb site. So,
yep.
So there's the fact that the bomb was on the last guy is so funny to me.
It's devastating. Both pistols won by Ence doesn't have the implications it used to have, but it's still very, very good. As long as you don't get reset. They did in the first half. Astralis have forced sport here in the second, and they have got bags of utility. Probably the best at using it. A flashbang over the roof. You could boost on short in Old Dust 2 and look over that roof. They kind of denied you from doing that now, which I think sucks. I want to go on record as saying that. I like doing that. I can't do it anymore. Maybe there is a triple boost to be had, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it in that position. But here they are. Oh, the grenades, yes! That's what I want to see on Nuke and the wall of smoke as well. But short, I'll take that one as well. Beautiful response from Ence. It'll take one player out, which is better than none. That's a great use of utility. Double Molotovs going towards the A side. We've got Alexion Goose considering showing his position. Not quite doing it just yet, but he will now with force with the UMP. Second kill for him, and there are more grenades getting blown. Ooh. The shrapnel's flying all over the place. 2 players in the red. They still get the bomb planted, though. Yeah. They've got to be super happy with that because the utility usage from Ence, we said at base, I mean, when they're on the force buy, you focus on the utility of Astralis, but the HE usage from Ence was beautiful. Made their jobs as easy as can be. Yeah, big props to Device pulling out a scout headshot to actually secure the bomb plant. I think it will be, yeah. Oh my god! That's amazing. Oh man. That crazy shot was what got them the bomb plant. So yeah, that's mega props to Device, not just regular ones. In Danger Zone, there are multiple footballs of different colors. Nice. Trivia, but here we are, back in the buy round. X7's got a scout, and he's got the AWP. And Alexi B's got himself a headshot for Zipex. An unwanted present, not even Christmas. Well, this position Ali's standing in, I think we saw people spraying that spot, that lineup through the doors. I think it was NIP that was doing that, or Astralis, one of the two, yesterday. Glad to see teams punishing that position because it's so common to hold that slither peak. As players come out the lower tunnels in towards mid, but into A is where Astralis will go, but they have been halted by the guardian of the EA bomb site, Alexi B. He's ready and waiting. And that's that. Now we'll finally start to get the buys in, James, and things will get interesting now. They're on fire, Dan. They're Pop-Tarts in the toaster. Is that a frequent thing in the kitchen for you, James? Fire? Is that? I've never had a Pop-Tart in my kitchen. I'm just assuming they'd catch fire if I did. Especially with me at the helm, me in the controls of the gas, there will be fire. 2-round lead for Ence. They want to continue burning. Sergey, though, will be holding down that long position for a time, but that won't be a very long time. Sergey and Alexi taken out towards the long position. Ariel was there as well, but he's forced to back away. Ali on the rotation with the AWP being boosted onto the sides. Having a look towards the pit, but Astralis have abandoned the position entirely. X7 will see them crossing. No, we've still got one player having a look, so they all have the same information. Astralis know that they've been seen rotating. Now, do they just speed up and try to make a play into B before there is more of a commitment from Ence? Can Ence commit with only 3 players alive and over a minute on the clock? Just baiting out the shot, it works. X7 now with fewer opportunities to get the damage in before they arrive on the site, but they will run straight into Ariel's org. Oh my god, there is no way they can pass this position. Ariel denies everything with the quad kill, and
James, Astralis, they took long, it was so successful, they go for the rotation, it gets spotted, and that changed everything.
A scoped AUG, so good for the precision shots, and Aerial abuses it. Wins by brutality. 11-8 now for Ence. This would be a big scalp taken if they could win this game of Dust 2. The receiving end of some big bullets from X7. Magisk is taken out. Astralis mostly with pistols for this round. Glaive has the scouts, which is interesting considering the prowess we've seen from Device so far with it. That flick on the A-bomb site was glorious. Device will have the Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle Blaze. So I think a run boost was being planned, but perhaps it's been thwarted by the smoke. Will they run boost to scouts? We're just looking over in case there is a push.
If he hits a shot in midair, James, I'm going to leave this room.
I'd be surprised if he even tried.
I want to see it. I thought that was what was brewing. I thought that was brewing, James. Or maybe it still is. It's no one to be seen, though, and it's Ali to take him down. So that was quite anticlimactic in the end, but I respect the attempt. Oh, my God. They did not realize Zipex had dropped down. That is quite problematic. And the bomb's down as well. There's a chance for damage here, for sure.
Bomb has been planted. That was a lovely HE if it was a short plant, but it wasn't. Dupree with Deagle shot. He's notorious as well, but they'll all be deleted. Just history books now. Printed ink in the parchment. And it's round number 12 for Ence. I've lost count of the amount of rounds they've won in a row. It started in the first half, continued in the second. There it is. That is 9 rounds in a row. Can they be double on fire? Are they like, is that a black hole then? Does their logo turn into a black hole?
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah, when Dupree came on the camera with that first clean Deagle shot, and I saw that he was taking all of his time, I'm like, ooh, this is quite worrisome. But indeed, 9th round in a row for Ence. Is it about to be halted? Full buy in for Astralis, and the cat boost for Ence, as the long position will be assaulted now by Astralis once again, but just with Glaive, and they're going to go quickly now with 4 players. Astralis towards the catwalk position. Aerial here with this AUG. He is going to be anchoring this with support of the AWP from Alu, and it's going to be good for 3 kills on catwalk. And now Zipex, he's been taken down from behind, and everything falls apart from Astralis. They switched up the pace, they switched up how they distributed their players, and it fell flat. Ence, 10 rounds in a row.
Astralis have gone missing. Somebody get me some milk cartons and a crayon. 5-round lead for Ence, but it feels like a lot more because they've won 10 rounds in a row. The black hole of Ence swallowing the light of Astralis at the moment.
Well, black hole definitely defeats the stars, James.
Space is fake, Dan.
Space is fake? Yeah. That sounds like a thing you can have an opinion about.
I actually named one of my M4s Space is Fake.
Did you really?
I had too many M4s. I had to name one. I ran out of names, so Space is Fake is one of the names. Ence 3 rounds away from victory. Astralis have looked unstoppable on Dust 2, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. 10 rounds in a row for Ence.
Fast timing from Dupree there, running straight to catwalk. And he's been spotted now. It's a risk that sometimes you want to take. He's actually very lucky that Alu did not connect that shot. And Dupree has to slow things down now because his timing will no longer be a surprise. But they do have position on catwalk with a player, so that's always a good thing. Nothing to shake a stick at, as Zipex is the one towards the long doors. And we've got Magisk in T-spawn effectively, watching upper dark to make sure the CTs don't push. So default setup here from Astralis, cat control. How do they play it from here? This is where things start to deviate. Ooh, Device showing too much
flesh.
Too much flesh to Alu, indeed. That is not
flesh.
good.
The rules are strict, and he's been executed.
What is the play now for Astralis, James? They have a lot of nades. They could go for the execute on A, but it's going to be tough.
Long could still be held by Astralis. They're in a rough spot. I mean, by Ence, excuse me. They're in a rough spot because they're very limited on flashbangs. And that's a big frag from Dupree. The wide swing from Zipex. Everything's turning around now. But the bomb's been dropped on short. There are 34 seconds, so LXCB, if he can buy some more time, that's one way to do it, by massacring everyone. Okay, then.
Wow, that is not bad.
Poor blimey.
LXCB, I think he had like 1 kill at the end of the first half, something like that. He was not having a great T side, but that is certainly one way to recover. Astralis looked incredibly good there. They get the 2 picks. There's just one guy left. Yeah. One man.
Ence have definitely caught up. Look at the average of kills across the board. They're pretty much all holding hands together.
Oh man, LXCB is killing it now. Oh, and Alu's picked off Glaive. He's going for the peak on Suicide. He is not afraid. Just looking for a 1D. They are being dropped 1 by 1. And how many? This is pretty difficult now for Astralis. They've got no room for error should they lose this round.
They've got to feel parched right now. Absolutely parched. Astralis. It's like when you're a teenager at the shop, you got dry mouth, but you don't have money to buy yourself a drink. You're parched.
Nice.
And device remain, and a bomb plant would be nice, but the bomb, as you can see on the radar, is miles away. There'll be no chance of that. The fire continues for Ence. This is what, 12 rounds in a row now? I think it's 12 rounds in a row.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, they've gone from 8-3, or 3-8 rather, to 15-8. And this is quite ridiculous.
Yeah, that
must be said.
That is something that normally, you would never be able to do against Astralis. That's many teams have put them in positions like this before, and they've always found a way to grind the rounds back. But every time things look promising, someone steps up. Device is looking for a bold play from Alu. Alu's going deep. Oh my god, how deep is he going to go? Is he going to go up on top of the box? That would be bold. Good nade coming in. Sergey takes down Zipex. Aerial doing some damage to what, but the trades work out, and Astralis do secure control of Long. Device will embed himself into the pit position with the AWP for the moment as he looks for picks towards the bomb site. And Ence have 2 players there. They're going to boost one up to Catwalk. And that's Alu with the AWP. Now, what do Astralis do? They can wait, but as I say that, they're creeping. Glaive is creeping up towards crossover. Will be the A site for Astralis.
LXCB shows mercy, lets one cross by. If he chooses to push, he's got to pick his timing wisely. Maybe with only 3 players remaining, one person won't stay on the other side of the smoke, but Astralis know better than that, and Device will go long with the AWP. We've got a grenade starting to be deployed. Alexi going for some jump shenanigans. He'll be taken out by Device. We've got the HE bouncing. Glaive loses a lot of his life, but Magisk is there as well, and this may not be over yet, but these Orgs have been brutal in the hands of Ence. Not over just yet. Astralis finally break the consistency of Ence. They are 6 rounds behind. Ence have bags of money stuffed under the mattress, and they have plenty of match points. They've been beating Astralis with telephone wire, but it seems that they've taken back the handset for now.
Good round indeed from Astralis, and as you know, that's where the experience is so important. You're facing up against match point. You can't put a single foot wrong, but you've got a position in the round. It's favorable. They play it out. Everyone does their job, and if we were to see a comeback all the way, James, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. It's Astralis.
1 round at a time. Don't focus on 6 rounds. Focus on 1 round 6 times. Sports psychology. The AWP is out for Device. There are 2, however, for Ence, Alu and X7. Specs picks up the 4th AK-47. Astralis can make minimal errors. Any major ones will be fatal. A quick execute into the B bomb site. So far, not so good. X7 going for a 360 MLG, but the bomb site will be taken by Astralis. And what do Ence choose to do? This may be safe territory already, and it seems that is the case. 2 players have fallen back. Alu looking for somebody to peek the window. but nobody will do that just yet, and Astralis make it to double figures. 5 rounds is not a million miles away.
No, and it's really brave of Astralis just to go for a B rush, but it's one of those things that you have in your pocket, because if you have been playing your T side and you haven't really done this once, and the pace has been pretty slow generally, you've been working defaults, you've been working A very consistently, you do have that 1B rush where you will probably catch the other team off guard if you're fortunate. And that worked out really well for Astralis. And they have to save, you know, when you lose the B bomb site that quickly, not only is your rotation really long, but it's so early in the round, the Ts have full utility still to lock you out of the bomb site. So that's a, you know, RIP right there. So go for the save, it's all good. They've got a bunch of rounds to hold on to, or to, you know, find ways to make things difficult for Astralis to take it over the line to prevent the 15-15. Can Astralis get all the way back? Again, it's Astralis, James. They're the best team suited for it.
But is it easy for Ence? That is the ultimate question. 2 players moving towards the B tunnel for Astralis. Long has been secured by Ence. All standard stuff. Glaive asking questions in the middle position. No one really in mid for the CTs just yet. A 3-0-2 setup for Ence. And another focus towards the B bomb site for Astralis. There is a big flashbang, easily avoided by Sergey. Only good for the 1 though. These Orcs got to get the multi-kill. That's why they're up, but it's just 1 for 1. 3v3 now. Lexi makes his way in, doesn't work for him. He gets deleted as well. We've got Alu well out of position. Sorry, Aerial out of position. And Alu up close by the window. That's a great angle. Not quite finding a fatal connection. No! It looks so close. But I think that might be it. Aerial's moving in, so maybe if they can get an opportunist frag, they might just do. He's got an angle on Glaive. So maybe we're on now. Alu's backed off, but he's got smoke grenades to create space. He's looking for someone to peek him in the window. And Aerial's found himself a Molotov.
And it goes deep, at least eliminating the backup plateau. And Aerial's still looking like he's trying to commit towards this, creating an argument for Alu, who now is deciding to go forward to the flash bang. Actually, no, it's actually smoke here. Create more cover and distraction. More places for the T's to look. There's only 2 of them. Real opportunity now here. Zipex takes off Alu's head. Now down to Aerial as he pushes forwards. He seems to know exactly where they are, but he knows it's a crossfire. He can't win this one. There's no time. He can at least take an additional kill out of it. Zipex just barely escapes the bomb blast with 7 HP. And that was a close one for Astralis. They must be sweating.
I don't think Aerial realized, but there was an AWP at the mouth of the entrance to the B site, on the B site side, but the bomb may have sent it through the tunnel, so you should have gone back to have a look. But anyway, we have Astralis now 4 rounds away. Maybe it was just pressure they needed. It's pressure they got for sure. And who knows, if they had picked up that AWP, it may have made a difference for Ence in this particular round. Beautiful timing for the Vice. Alexi takes one in the face. Close casket funeral for him. And it's just the UMP and the AUG, the main weapons in this round for Ence, that remain. I can't imagine they will be aggressive. A jump pick from Dupree. Did he spot Alu? He must have come up on the radar at the very least, surely. With the bomb not planted just yet, I don't know if these players will survive without taking some kind of engagement. There you go. That's the bomb, no less. Will there be a trade? No. It'll be cleaned up by Astralis. 3 rounds away now, and you have to wonder if Ence start to get nervous after so much success. All they're experiencing right now is failure.
Yeah, it's starting to get quite scary at this point. However, double orbs coming out, Alu and Sergey. And with the double orbs, maybe success can be had. Astralis, every single round, they've got to be so careful with how they play it. And they're going to go for a 3-man push down middle here. Very, very, very fast timing if they decide to go through the doors. And this can really catch teams off guard if they're just sending 3 to long, just then rotating players back. But it seems like Ence do have players that will be in position. Now they can drop into CT spawn. How quickly will Astralis move towards this B split? Lots of fire exchange between the smokes, and the bomb's now down, but the bomb site is up for grabs here for Astralis.
It's over already this round, surely. I think the Vice tagged both those players at the same time when they were crossing towards the B bomb site. Colossal damage done. And that certainly helps the other players spray them down afterwards. I'm pretty sure both got tagged by one bullet and then promptly eliminated afterwards. So I don't know if he might have read that or if it was through the smoke, but here we are. This is a very unusual situation now. 13 to 15 en route. Dupree looking for elimination. Oh, he's hit the smoke grenade. That's maybe the warning Alexi needed, but they are being flanked from the other side as well. Let's see if they survive. Ooh, they are really exposed. Smoke is up. And now it's Astralis' turn to get 5 rounds in a row, but it seems to hold on to the weapons. Let's see what they can do with them in this next round.
Wow, okay, Dupree. What an entry frag. Yeah, absolutely. What a defense there right at the end to secure, make sure that both orbs made it to the next round. Because as we can see with the money, if they'd lost any of those orbs, wouldn't be able to replace them. So they get to keep the double orbs, keep the dream alive, and I can't believe that this has been such a struggle for them. And I mean, part of it is because of such great calls from Astralis. They've found really good pace, and they've found it at the right moments. You know, we had that really, I mean, it started with that immediate B rush. In that round, they took 3 players, they ran them down suicide. It's not called suicide for no reason. That's a risk, but if you're sort of banking on the CTs playing like a 2-3 setup, because you can condition them from being worried about fast long takes and fast B takes. So that means mid is left open by the AWPer in middle, which means that you can get down suicide for free. And that fast timing puts you in such a good position. The CTs are in a really bad spot to respond. So Astralis just working the timings really well. And only 2 more times now.
Here we are back into the game. So Ence will buy around these weapons. They're not going to break the bank. They'll leave money in the hole. But they will try to offer something to Astralis. Squeeze out as much from these final rounds as they can. Ence playing for the win, Astralis playing for the draw. Let's not forget that. 2 AWPs continuing for Ence. Those are the main heavy duty. Oh, that's a beautiful snap from Alexi, standing his ground for the time being, but he can fall back behind that smoke grenade. What is the response from Astralis? They take long, but they are long range against 2 sniper rifles. They will probably assume one is towards the B bomb site, but for how long? In fact, they're both on A, if I'm not mistaken, these sniper rifles. So there may be a lot of problems here for Astralis. This could be the end of the line if they make a mistake.
And they seem very worried about this flank. I mean, I say worried, I mean, you've got enough players. You definitely want to be checking this just in case. But having given up any position towards top mid, you can see that now Ence, they're clearing towards top mid. They understand that, okay, hang on. There's no pressure towards catwalk. All we have to do is focus on the A bomb site. And 3 players are on catwalk already. This might be awkward, though, with the lack of utility. Getting out of catwalk onto A site, it's going to be tough because they'll have to... Wow, okay, that is incredible. Great shot from Ali. Brilliant timing to that one. And with that frag, the rest of the team moves in.
Ali has a HE as well. He could bounce it towards the side, but the AWPs continue to deliver. 2 versus 4 for Astralis to survive. They've got to clutch this. We've got to boost up high, and now it's down to Device. I don't think he's got the angle anymore. Versus 2 sniper rifles, so far so good. Changing his elevation, jump picking to bait the shots, going back to try and stop the bomb from being defused, but they're focusing on the elimination for now. Here comes the defuse, but there's no kit on it, and up close he'll be punctured, and that will be it. Ence take the match finally after a colossal comeback on Dust 2. They will close it out 16 to 13 over Astralis.
Incredible performance from Ence. I am so impressed. I was so worried for them, James. It's Astralis. It's the team that will make that comeback against you. And you know that in the back of your head, that's the team that's going to do it. But this time they didn't. Ence proved their worth on Dust 2. Great stuff from them.
We are going to the B stream now to continue some more Counter-Strike. So stay tuned. More rifles and bullets and pistols coming your way.